Pro wrestling talk from the four corners of parts unknown. This is That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast, a special earlier than normal pod for this week. As much as I like to tell you, yes, as much as I'd like to tell you why, as Mean Gene would say, we just can't talk about it on the air. Call me up on the hotline at 1-900-909-9900 for all.
That number doesn't work. Don't call that number. Do not dial that number. We do not own that number. The original title of this podcast was really going to be "We Don't Talk About Brian," because Brian, we are recording early because you're going to see Tool, and then we find out Kevin wasn't going to be here on our normal Thursday night, so I was going to name it. So I was going to call it "We Don't Talk About Brian and Kevin," and then the title was going to be "The Podcast from Hell 2." Because it would have been just me and Joe. And we've only done one show together, and that was The Podcast from Hell. But we are here. And Brian, you're going to see Tool. Like, who gives a shit? You can tell people, you know.
That's fine. That's fine.
I saw them back in '97. It was awesome.
Yeah. They haven't changed a bit.
No, they're all douchebags.
Corey Graves gave them props on Twitter, I saw. So we'll get into Corey
the camera thing is just ridiculous. If you don't know, Tool doesn't allow you to take any cameras, even your cell phones. And if you pull them out during the show, even if you're not taking a photo, they will throw you out. I had that instance years ago in Dallas, and I was working, and it was a whole thing. So ever since, no Tool for me.
Grudges don't die easily with you. There's Tool. There's Dolph Ziggler blowing you off at the Hall of Fame. There's Snoop Dogg,
Jeremy Renner.
If you're on the list, you're on the list.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner. Don't forget about that. He still has not watched Hawkeye on Disney Plus because of Jeremy Renner.
Well, one that I had a beef with, I've let it go. I used to be anti-Buckcherry for a while. So we had a meet and greet at Common Ground, and they just kept saying, how many more people do we have? How much longer is this? And then years later, I met them in Dallas when Crazy Bitch had fallen off, and that was the only song they were known for. And they had to be friendly. They had to be very friendly.
Well, they love the cocaine. I have seen them a
couple times since.
They do, Kev. I
don't hold grudges.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up.
Me and Kevin. That's proof right there.
That's true.
That's true.
We had
beef 15 years ago.
Separate pod on that. Yes.
Now look at that.
We shared a bet over the weekend that it was my influence and we lost. But hey, you know, so I let beefs go.
There's a TWP extra coming up, I think, with the origin of that whole.
It's like is that the Wendy's commercial? Where's the beef?
Yeah, no beef here.
All right, so the gang is all here.
What were we talking about?
Woo! We went all the way around. But we lots to cover. Let's find out what is covering our tops with What Are You Wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today? All right, Joe, you're sporting a new microphone tonight. And
well, yeah, it's about time. I was
using
that a one
Vince
straight out of
McMahon
1980
edition or a Mean Gene edition?
This is the McMahon one. It's like, that's gotta be Kane. Oh, are we allowed to mention him anymore?
Are we safe? Are we safe to land the airplane? Are we safe to land?
Well, in honor of Revolution, I'm going with All Elite Wrestling, the Mox graffiti shirt.
Cool.
Love it. Go ahead, Jay.
From the homies at Homage, an old Gold Dust shirt. Last week, Kevin's wife proclaimed her love for Gold Dust, and I knew I had it. Though I'm also looking for my Stardust shirt. I can't find that one, but I have one. So, and as this is show official number 53, I haven't repeated a shirt once this year.
Proud of you.
It's on my resume now.
Yes. What do you got, Kev?
Yeah, I was gonna go week after week after week with the Royal Rumble win shirts.
Indeed.
But I still classify this as a win because technically Joe still bought it for me from the Santa money. Jay, I used your money for some wrestling socks. Joe, I bought 2 shirts. One of them, the past, present, and future of professional wrestling. Beautiful MJF in honor. Same with you, Joe, of Revolution coming up. I paid with PayPal on Pro Wrestling Tees, so hopefully that protected my credit card information.
Check and double check. All right, I'm going with my Hulkamania shirt. Hulk got divorced.
So we're celebrating.
So we're celebrating Hulk's newfound.
You know who did celebrate Hulk's divorce? Your hero, Mid Cardona.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw it. I saw it.
He mocked the tweet about being married instead of not being married.
I did see that. Oh my God.
Mid card.
He thought all of us Hulkamaniacs knew already, but no one knew. And he had a video. He was backstage with Bret Michaels of Poison fame, and he was like, "This is my girl, so and so." And I guess people Sky. Sure. And lovely name. And I'm sure people put 2 and 2 together and said, wait a minute, that's not your wife. So that's how that came out. So supporting the Hulkster as he recovers from his second divorce, I believe. All right, let's get right to it. So rumblings online all day of Tony Khan with another big announcement on Dynamite, yada yada yada. Well, Dynamite begins. Tony Khan is in the ring. And that's a surprise. First off, he's not usually on camera like that. My God, does he talk funny?
Tonight proved why he's not on camera a lot.
He's excited.
So awkward.
It's so weird. I can't turn my eyes off of it. I'm like, what is with you, man? But he announces he's the new owner of Ring of Honor. And shortly thereafter, he put out a press release. Quick summary on the key points of that. He goes, moments ago on AEW Dynamite Live on TBS, it was announced that Tony Khan's agreed to acquire the assets of ROH Wrestling Entertainment from Sinclair Broadcast Group, including the promotion's extensive video library dating back to 2002, brand assets, intellectual property, production equipment, and more. The statement continued on. He goes, this adds thousands of hours of content to our rapidly growing library, creates new opportunities to expand our footprint on a national and global scale while having the potential to produce new content under the Ring of Honor banner. Further details about the extent of this acquisition will be announced in the coming weeks. The other key takeaway from him in the ring was who else popped for Shane's not here. Shane's not here. That was good. That was really good. So initial thoughts, guys. It's a thing again. That was another hyped announcement. Does it deliver to you guys? Your early impressions on this big announcement of the purchase of Ring of Honor?
Joe, hit me with it.
New and exciting.
No. First
what
off,
am I looking for?
New.
Oh,
sign more guys.
Sign more guys. No,
this is willing. This is what this is going to turn into. Feeder system, farm system for AEW, which not necessarily a bad thing. Joe fucking up my catchphrase is really bad, but
I was waiting for new and exciting. Sorry.
No, it's fresh and new. Come on,
fresh and new. Whatever.
I don't really know what to expect from this, except that he's collecting more wrestling figures.
Oh, yeah. No, that's true. That's true. I got really excited. Jay, I think it was you who mentioned maybe it was going to be a streaming deal with HBO Max.
That's
I hope so. Because I have HBO Max.
So do I. So I was really hoping. I was like, announce that deal. Announce the deal. Maybe it's coming with the collection of Ring of Honor because that's massive. That's a lot of classic.
The library is like, and the funny thing is, I think it was mentioned on Twitter that it was 10 times as much to buy this as it was WCW in 2001. Yeah. I mean, and the WCW library was bigger, but as we see, the library and streaming is where the return on investment comes from. So if we actually see, because Time Warner, TNT, TBS, AEW, go to HBO Max, and they get a channel for the wrestling thing, and then we get the pay-per-views on HBO Max.
Hopefully.
You have no idea how much I'm begging for that to happen, because again, it's a service I already own. But
what if it raises the price, Joe?
I'd be fine with that. It's not, as long as it doesn't raise it. What, it's $9.99 with commercials, $14.99 without commercials.
Okay,
so
would you pay $20 a month for it if it includes pay-per-views?
For the simple fact that it's a really good service to begin with. The only thing that HBO Max does not have, that Peacock has, that Paramount Plus has, is the live channel feeds where you can just watch like certain things. If they can add that to HBO Max, it's like, that is the ultimate streaming service. It's better than Netflix, in my opinion.
You know what's weird about HBO Max? There's a movie on there I had been looking for because I assumed it would be on there. The Entourage movie is not on HBO Max, but Entourage, all 8 seasons are. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
It was on there, but again, with most streaming services, they can only hold so much, so things have to go away for a while and then come back later.
Somebody needs to get Dave HBO on the line and get the Entourage movie and make this wrestling streaming thing happen on HBO Max.
AEW on HBO Max would be like, when it comes to the streaming wars, AEW won that war, like the Wednesday night wars, because HBO Max is greater than Peacock, and we all know that.
Wow. All right. I'm all into the wrestling war, so I might have to dig my teeth into HBO Max now. Kevin, anything additional to add? We've talked about the library and the importance of that, and the natural thought is, the equivalent in my head is now NXT is the true developmental for Raw and SmackDown, and I certainly could see Ring of Honor being the true developmental for AEW.
I agree with you, but the level up is also like the real developmental of the
that's developmental, right? To the developmental, yeah.
So
up, yeah.
So the thing I was thinking about this, do you think we'll see Samoa Joe and the Briscoes in AEW at all? Because think about the Hall of Fame class. I wonder if Tony Khan kind of had a play in that. Samoa Joe is always rumored to go in there. So that's interesting, but that also leads into Jay's sign more guys. I just want it being streaming. I think $20. I don't think they would go 20. There's no way they would go 20. I think the sweet point is they're 12, they're 10 one tier, 15 another tier. Just with adding AEW, you're gonna get a lot of people subscribing. I
don't think it will raise the price that much, because AEW is not worth raising it $5.
I wouldn't see that, but yeah, it's interesting, and if that does happen, and where it comes to that, the pay-per-views are part of the service, that's the big game changer, because we're going to obviously get into Revolution, but we have been so accustomed for the last 6 years or so that the network has been around, that I pay this flat rate. How long?
8 years, 2014.
Thank you. Okay. I messed that up last week, but
his math
arbitrary.
AJ Styles has been in the WWE for 14 and a half years.
A teachable moment.
That's not an F up on my part. I was just throwing numbers up there this time. But in any event,
WrestleMania 30 was the first event on the network.
So so we've had 8 years of accustomed to, I pay this flat rate. I don't need to pay extra for the pay-per-view. So when that happens, that's going to open up so many more doors and eyeballs for people to check out AEW at their pay-per-views and essentially keep continuing to grow. All right, so that's exciting. So as we record this Wednesday night, we're all looking forward to tomorrow's sit down, Thursday, 2 p.m. in studio, Vince McMahon and Pat McAfee. Pat, he announced it in his usual excited way on Friday during SmackDown, just yelling. And it is exciting. Vince doesn't do these very often at all. I mean, I can think of the Austin interview from a couple years back. But so you don't see this often, but then a couple days later it comes out that This interview may be setting up Vince versus Pat at WrestleMania. So there's a lot going on. And then you got Monday's Raw, where Austin Theory kind of tried to warn Vince that Pat could attack him. And
it's a little awkward.
Very awkward. That's a bit of a stretch there, but it sure seems like it's setting up something. So guys, your thoughts, excitement level for the interview and this possible Mania match. I'll let you start, Jay.
I think we all can agree we don't want to see Vince McMahon in the ring.
76. That's a little much.
Maybe this is how Shane comes back.
Okay.
Shit goes sideways during the interview, and Shane's like, no. You're not fucking with my dad like that. And then we get Shane and Pat at WrestleMania.
Okay. That's I could live with that. I could also take what you're saying, and because Austin Theory was like, maybe I'll have your back, Shane comes, saves the day, and Austin Theory goes, F you, I was going to save the day. Austin Theory and Shane in a battle for Vince's fatherly love. That
was what I thought was going to happen when Shane showed up at the Rumble. That's what I thought it was going to lead to.
Yeah.
Shane and Austin Theory, but now who knows?
Exactly. Go ahead, Joe.
Couldn't care less. On a scale of 1 to 10, this gets a 1.
Really?
It only gets a 1 for the simple fact that there's only one match on the entire 2-night card that has a 0 in my interest level. So yeah, I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna be interested in the interview.
Okay,
don't get me wrong.
Question.
That's gonna be entertaining because both can be entertaining. And I know a lot of people were giving crap about the fact that, Vince was on Austin's podcast. They can't say it's been 15 years. They tweaked it to say live interview. The podcast was taped. So good save on their end for that one. But yeah, the interview I'm excited for. If I had to rate the interview, I'd give it a 10 out of 10 because Vince is it's a rare occasion that he's on. But a match, even if it's Shane or Austin Theory or Linda or Stephanie or Rose or Triple H's dog, it doesn't matter. 1 out of 10 for this match. I don't care.
Go ahead, Kev. There's a lot to take in there.
I think the podcast will be better than the match. I do get excited for seeing Pat in the ring again because he was fantastic in the few times, especially the War Games match. I think I'd rather see him versus Austin Theory versus him versus Vince, just because someone's so old, what if he had a heart attack and died or something crazy, right? I want Vince to live forever. I don't want to see him get hurt. That type of thing. But I won't say it's the least one I'm excited about, but they're starting to make the card, right, really, really good. They're building up really good matches now, right? Joe, don't give me that face. AJ versus Edge is going to be.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
Lights out. We'll get to that. But this match, first match of the night on one of the nights, right? That's what I think.
It's interesting because you think this could be tied into, naturally, and every match is this way, but it's tied into ticket sales. They want to fill up that building. There's been reports they've sold 55,000, and that's for both nights. So, I've heard the true number would be 80,000 because of course the stage is there, right? They can't have a true 100,000, even though they'll tell you it is. So there's obviously a curiosity level. 76 years old. I don't want to see it. I certainly could see them also going the route of it's a no DQ match. And Vince comes out and he just sits in the corner while Austin Theory fights McAfee or something. I don't know. I'm more interested in the interview. When I saw that they were doing the interview, I went, wow. And it's coming off the heels of the great Pat and Brock interview, right? So it's this is going to be great too. And then when I saw the report of the possible match, I went, oh no, please don't be just a in character gimmicked interview, right? That's what worries me.
It's going to be within 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah. Vince will be in character.
I hope
it's not going to be, I don't think, like kind of an intimate one, with Stone Cold. I think he's going to be like in that boardroom with Austin Theory, like, like
Well,
just
I could see him trying to relive the Bob Costas interview that no one remembers or cares about except for
Austin
us.
Theory.
Except
Theory
for
remembered it. He goes, "You slapped that guy."
And I don't know. I just hope it doesn't turn into full gimmick. I hope we actually get some interview involved in this. Okay. So still going with 10 out of 10 with excitement for the interview. 1 out of 10 for any possible angle that comes with this match.
Yeah, we heard you the first time.
I know. I'm saying it again.
Boom.
I mean it.
Yeah, what if it was a hair versus hair match and somehow they bring back Umaga? Like,
oh, come on.
Christ, Kevin.
Dude, seriously.
Let's move it on. All right.
Let's move on. Yeah, please.
Kevin's got an early morning tomorrow. We're going to cut him some slack. All right.
No.
All right. Where do we go after that? Okay. Why don't we go to Monday Night Raw in addition to Austin Theory's wacky premonitions of what's going to happen with Vince and Pat? A couple of things of note. We have a new U.S. champ, Finn Balor, taking the title from Damian Priest. Priest proceeds to blame the fans for not supporting him and turns heel. Okay. Then later on, AJ Styles answers Edge's call out for Mania, and Edge goes heel on AJ. We got a nut shot. We got a concerto. Thoughts on these heel turns? Kev, I'll let you earn some redemption from that last line.
There's a reason why I said it, by the way. I thought Damian Priest was okay. But of course, I nerded out for the Edge one, especially because his hair was just getting so wild.
Yeah, a lot of funny pictures with that.
And fuzzy, and just with that, his beard was looking all gnarlier from it. He had like crazy in his eyes, and then I'm just like, man, he did just fight like a mixed tag match, but it makes sense, right? He's been the good guy since he came back for so long, and now it pumps in the juice, into the veins. It basically makes a new character for him, and it makes so many more exciting matchups. I think that his tennis shoes, Jay, I don't know what they were, but they looked pretty cool.
I did not look. I didn't ring. I don't remember. I don't recall.
But it was the concerto looked legit close, right? I know it's all about camera angles, Brian, but it looked like dangerous, and I thought, yeah, the nut shot was cool. I thought, I'm excited. I'm all for it. Go
ahead, Joe.
Yeah, the rated R superstar heel persona is fine being back, but the thing is, he did it last year at WrestleMania. He became the heel last year.
Kind of a tweener thing.
Daniel
right?
Bryan had to be the face. Edge went off and gave Daniel Bryan a concerto and Roman Reigns before WrestleMania, if we remember that correctly. And he's doing the same thing. Now, I'm okay with it because I kind of like AJ going back to being a face, because he didn't totally turn back yet. Now this is a way for, let's boo Edge because we want to do it anyway. And let's get AJ to be the face, because let's be honest, there's way too many heels on both rosters that are main eventers.
AJ needs to be a good guy.
I think so too.
He's never been a great bad guy. Even with the beat up John Cena days, that's more comedic than, heel. So I think having good guy AJ, I don't know who will win. We're weeks away from that, but
let's just think of all the faces on Raw. There's not many. But all the heels on Raw, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, he's kind of a tweener, but when he comes back, he'll get the face
Austin Theory.
Like the biggest, before AJ did this full on face turn, I mean, who's the biggest face on Raw? R-Truth? Finn Balor?
Reggie.
Yeah,
Reggie, but
Brock,
now we got
Brock.
Brock is on both shows. He's a free agent.
Yeah.
But now we got Damian Priest going heel too. There's too many heels on Raw. There's not enough faces that are legit. So it was Finn Balor, and that was it. So now AJ gives a little bit of credibility.
All right, Jay, go ahead.
I just said it. I
What's
think
that?
it boils down to AJ being the good guy, and
Okay.
Edge has been too
the
good.
Mysterios. I forgot the Mysterios.
Edge needed a change, and here we go. We'll run it for a year. I would have loved to. I would actually love to see him pair up with Priest. I had said Edge and Priest was a Mania match I wanted, but like to pair up, joke, like a 2-man power trip kind of thing. But whatever. It's good for all. Yeah,
maybe after Mania. Yeah, I think it was the right time because he's been primarily a face. To your point, Joe. Yeah, he certainly showed heel tendencies for last Mania, but the one thing I put on I think Twitter was he does this heel stuff. The crowd's chanting one more time. So like WWE's
no, they weren't. I heard boo. I heard boo the whole time.
Yeah, it was so strange. I saw
bring back the Thunderdome.
Chanting.
Bring back the Thunderdome.
Seriously. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get better in time in that respect. But the crowd loved them kicking AJ's
I love
ass.
something I saw. I love something I saw on Twitter this week too when Edge told AJ about being like almost his like tag team bitch. Like someone tweeted out saying, "Why didn't AJ say, well, your brother is managing a dinosaur in another promotion," like to say about the whole tag?
Christian's the new Marco.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was a good one. I was more surprised at the Priest one. That one seemed a little out of nowhere to me. It just seemed like, oh, I've lost and I hate the fans.
Junkyard.
Okay, but Junkyard Dogs chiming in.
What does JYD think?
Harley.
Yeah.
Another one bites the dust.
Intense. My dog's just sleeping behind me. Like a good girl. All right,
Harley, my dog Harley, every time there's a German Shepherd that lives next door.
Oh.
And when she sees and we don't know the dog's name, so we just call him Louie. And every time Louie starts barking or comes out, Harley will run out, jump up on the patio furniture like she's at so she can see, and just barks. And I'm like, he doesn't know you're there. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So, let's move on.
Some German Shepherd puppies in your future in a couple years.
Oh, there you go.
Shut your face.
You're going to be a dog grandpa.
He's got her space.
Yeah,
he's got her space.
Never mind.
I'm sorry.
Read the room, Kevin.
There's a German Shepherd next door, and you named him Louis and not Gunther.
I don't know. We think his name is Louis, but we don't know for sure. So
must be. All right. We mentioned on last week's pod the new WWE reality show, Corey and Carmella. It has come out, and Jason was the most optimistic about it leading into it. Jason, tell us, are you still optimistic?
Yeah, it's fun. It's just like I said. It's between 10 and 15 minutes an episode. 2 came out on Monday, then 1 Tuesday, 1 today, and 1 tomorrow. And basically, they are moving into a house in Pittsburgh. And, we've all moved from our hometowns. And for me, I'm 3,000 miles away from Pittsburgh. And like when I see Pittsburgh on camera, it's just cool and it's fun. And these two, I don't know if it's exaggerated or if that's their real life, but like they have a lot of sex and it's cool. One thing that made me laugh was they showed a clip of it coming back from commercial on Raw, and they didn't mention nothing like Corey. We caught the first episodes today on YouTube.
Yeah. None
of that. Like it would have been great if Jimmy just went, so Corey, did she really suck your dick in the shower like she said she did on the show? Like, what's her technique? Is it 2 hands, at 1 hand, and a mouth? No. Like, what is it? I just wish there was some reaction at the broadcast booth. But of course,
that's a missed opportunity.
But it's it's not PG. No. They don't swear or anything, but there's Graves was shaving, and she said something of like there was like a punchline to it where I don't want you to be this. I want you to be a panty dropper. And it just made me laugh. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. But like I said last week, the realtor is I know the realtor. He was a wrestler back in Pittsburgh back in the day, and I don't know if he is anymore. But it's a fun watch for 10.
No, he's a realtor.
Minutes. Yeah, Wrestling is a Realtor, number 5 show last week on my 5 count. Just watch them. They don't take long. It's a fun watch. And Brian, you're from Pittsburgh, and I feel like though the front that they use for their home that they bought, it has to be bogus. Because fucking wrestling fans are gonna be like, oh, let's go watch Carmella take out the trash and see if she's wearing those little tight shorts that she was wearing. Blah blah blah. Like,
that's absolutely
taking
true.
out the trash.
I think I saw Mia Yim posted something in the last week saying, like, fans, don't come to my house, please. Like, there's weirdos out there who will do that.
There's one person who's not going to watch that show, though.
Who's that?
Besides Joe.
The
woman Graves left for Carmella.
His ex-wife. His kids are in the show, too. So,
they are?
Yeah. Like I said, there's a reason why it's on YouTube and not Peacock, but just do yourself a favor.
I'm pulling it up right now. Let's see. What has more views, Corey and Carmella or my Dexter Loomis Bart Simpson? Corey and Carmella wins. Okay. All right. Yes. Just double checking. All right. Well,
we have to watch yours a few more times, Brian, to catch up.
Yeah. No. Nonstop entertainment.
It's a good show. Go watch it. You'll like it.
If there's any breaking news on Corey and Carmella next week, sure to let us know.
Carmella wants Corey's wiener. That was breaking news.
That was the breaking news last week. All right, so we'll get into Revolution now. Revolution is this Sunday. Stacked card. Dynamite along with the Ring of Honor. Yes, Joe, the DVD.
Nice.
I think I gave that to you, right?
Yes, you did. Wonderful. Oh, wait, sorry. There you go. Much better.
There it is. But yeah, Dynamite, nice lead in besides the Ring of Honor announcement. I guess before we do get into the card, I think we do need to discuss Punk and MJF. Damn it, I was hoping I was right, but I wasn't. And it was kind of what we all thought. I still thought it was pretty well done. I loved the call back to the handshake from the first moment, right? But as soon as he went in for the hug, I went, "Ah!" And I think I yelled out loud, "I knew it!" when he kicked him. and my wife from the other room went, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "It's wrestling. I'm sorry." You guys, your reaction? Did you all see it coming a mile away too?
The white suit gave it away for me.
Yeah, that was part.
Because normally he doesn't wear white.
Yeah.
And we saw what happened. We saw how it ended. So
CM Punk wearing the Bryan Danielson shirt, the white.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yes, from whatamaneuver.net. So
yes, the official. And then, that's the thing. Like, Punk could still say like all that shit was legit, but I'm still gonna fucking kill you. He just said it. He used that line from The Usual Suspects, right? The
Tuesday.
The best trick.
No, that's 94 Street Fighter.
That was Street Fighter. The Usual Suspects was the best trick the devil ever pulled was proven he didn't exist.
Yeah. So
and then Kevin Spacey.
Yep. Poof, he's gone. Kaiser Sose shout out. But yeah, what a visual of the fucking hanging from the chain, all bloody in your face.
I like the handprint of blood on his picture, not CM Punk's. I don't know if like that had to be on purpose, where he was putting the blood over young MJF and kept Punk pure, but that day made MJF the man he grew up to be. Like, I like the promo because it's like it never said it wasn't true. It just stated the fact that he didn't really care as much as he said the week before.
Right. And he just
maybe he did, and that's what broke him. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, and he said in the promo last week, like, I'm better than you. So, it's not like anything, Punk was basically kind of trying to be the better man, right? Trying to say he wasn't the bad guy. And MJF was just like, I never said I wasn't the bad guy. I'm gonna let me show you why. And he showed him.
Okay, but who was the couple questions about the promo? Number one, I remember the ashes of your manager. It was the Paul Bearer one.
Yeah.
Who was the one that he drove back to drinking?
Matt Hardy, right?
No,
Jeff.
It was
or Jeff Hardy.
Well, no,
was it
Jeff was
Hardy?
the one Jeff was
During
the
that
one that
straight edge.
he poured the beer on.
Poured the booze in.
Okay.
The second one, I don't know who that was. I'm sure if you look it up, it's there.
And
but I'm not
number
doing that right
number
now,
two, maybe I was just like completely lost in it. When did Dean Malenko have Parkinson's?
Oh, that's been known.
I didn't know. So I was like, wow. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. So those were my two takes of it. Was I knew the one, I forgot the alcohol one, and I was like, did Dean Malenko? Like I completely, that got lost in the shuffle for me. So all right, good job.
Yeah.
I thought the point in the beginning of the promo when he mentioned, him and Stone Cold being in a photo, right? And always looking up to Stone Cold, and Stone Cold going, quote unquote, going home. And he was like using it as his personal experience compared to what MJF and everything like that. I thought it was good. Each week, I think they just feed off each other more and more. I don't know. I don't want it to end, but with the whole Wardlow getting smacked, it's something's brewing in there, and Sean Spears just kind of has to go away because he's basically the Christian of the Pinnacle, right?
Pretty much.
Well, that was the tease again for Wardlow. Right?
He's the Vincent of the NWO.
The grabbing of the chair. You think he got the crowd chants. The people are ready, and maybe that's going to play a role in Punk MJF on Sunday. So let's go through the card. It is what is there? Let's see.
There's a lot of matches.
A lot of matches.
When they did the
night.
rundown, they just kept going around the horn in commentary, and I'm like, man, this is going to be like a 5-hour pay-per-view.
There's probably 2 matches I could say we could get rid of these ones and save for something else, but it's stacked though. It really is.
At least there's no Paul White QT Marshall match.
No.
Well, let's be grateful.
Get the 2, Brian, is Jade Cargill match and then the trios match.
That's it. Yeah, those are the 2. And I'm sure both of those will be fine, but the other ones are through the roof.
It's going to be in movie theaters as well. I'm going to check.
Which is very cool.
If it's local around me, because I used to love going to NCG when it was $5. It's probably what?
Are they going to charge? Are they going to charge $2 extra like AMC is doing for the Batman this weekend? I don't know if you heard that, but the Batman AMC is charging $2 extra
just
to see that
movie,
compared to everything else.
Sure.
Premium live event.
Interesting. Yeah. On the big screen. All right. So
go to a matinee.
Let's quickly go through the card. We'll save the big matches to get all of our thoughts. But we'll start with that trios match. Sammy, Darby, Sting versus Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy. Kev, you're shaking your head, so you can
Team Sting next.
Sure. Exactly. Jericho, Kingston. You're a big Jericho guy, Joe. Go ahead.
Gotta go with Kingston. Jericho puts out the hand, and Kingston slaps him in the face and walks away.
Jericho goes off to do the spring Fozzy tour. So
yeah, I could see, but the thing is, it's like I wouldn't be surprised if Jericho won.
Okay,
but I think Kingston needs it more. And the handshake, he doesn't shake his hand, he slaps him in the face, and that's about it.
I've said Kingston, once he really started to come into prominence in AEW, he's the guy who doesn't need to win any matches because he's just so over because of his mic skills and just his presence. But I think I like the idea of you can't win the big one. Oh yes, I can. So I think
just like they told Jericho he couldn't win the big one when it was him versus The Rock in 2001 for the WCW championship. Yeah. Jericho versus The Rock for the WCW championship.
It's almost like wrestling reuses storylines. That's crazy to think that.
What?
Shocking. Jay, Danielson and Moxley.
Ooh.
This is going to be a fun one. I don't know if there's going to be as much blood as they are insinuating in the promos, but if this begins the 2-man power trip, I'm down. I'm down for it. I don't really care, or I don't really know who will win, nor do I care if it matters or think that it matters, but fuck it. We'll just say Moxley. Why not? But
like that.
What we're about to get is going to be worth it.
Yeah,
the juice is worth the squeeze.
It's the after where we know, but would be.
We're getting a double count out, by the way.
Ooh.
We're getting Apollo and Rocky not getting up at the end of Rocky 2.
How much? What are the odds on that on DraftKings there on Draft Duel? The double count out. That's like
So
900.
The only reason I said that is because they can just go around beating the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
No one loses.
Okay.
Because down the road saying Max wins, I beat you, pacing back and forth.
Like Renee Paquette had a great tweet today. When Moxley came out, her tweet was, well, I love that I'm watching Dynamite and John is in the same clothes he wore to the airport this morning when I dropped him off.
He's lazy. That's good. Yeah, it's the after, so I'm sure the match will be great. Winner is kind of consequential. Let's go the face of the Revolution ladder match. We got Keith Lee, we got Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Orange Cassidy, and then if I believe I heard this right on Rampage, one more spot. It's Ethan Page versus Christian. Did you guys catch that? I think that's the last one. Whoever wins that will be in there for the face of the Revolution ladder match. I'll take this one, and I'm cool with Wardlow winning. I like that. They teased it today with MJF saying that if you win, you get to like keep the title shot or whatever he alluded to, and ended up, what a great slap. That was awesome. So I like it. Let's keep that tension going. Let's keep that rolling. Jade and Ty Conti. Well, Kevin, I already gave you the lame trios match, so I don't want to give you the lame.
No, give him this one too. Give him this one too.
I want it.
Give it to me, buddy.
Just because, well, Jade's gonna win because they have her undefeated streak on the counter or on the video screen and everything.
And she's that bitch show champion.
And I didn't know who was live, so I messaged Jay only. She actually made me laugh out loud when she was like, no one gives a crap about that karate shit.
Yeah.
Ty Conti.
That was funny.
And I was like, it's gonna be Ty's actually a pretty damn good.
She's
wrestler.
okay.
That's the thing.
She's
Conti's
better.
like she's when that booty is nice, but like I just feel that I don't know. It's Jade.
The views of TWP_Kevin are expressively his own. They do not reflect the opinions of That Wrestling Podcast.
You see why I didn't want to give him this match, guys?
Are we going to talk about Lakita?
No.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Hold on.
We're not. Let's
go. But no, she's going to win.
All right.
Within 3 minutes.
Jurassic Express versus Fish and O'Reilly versus the Young Bucks. Little triple tag title match. What you thinking, Joe?
I'm going to go with the Undisputed Red Dragon era. I'm going with
like that.
Fish and O'Reilly.
Like that. Yeah.
I forgot Jurassic Express were the tag champs. That's how nothing they've done with their title reign.
I feel like
the only thing they do is come out on the ramp to Tarzan, the Tarzan song. Oh, and Christian comes out.
Hey, don't sing it. We can't afford that.
Do you remember when we?
Oh, don't worry. No one's gonna want to hear me sing anyway. But no, I'm gonna go with the. It's gonna set up a disappointment at the end. I think they're going to win the tag straps, but we'll talk about the rest at the end.
Well, do you guys remember when we used to care about Jungle Boy? When we actually saw him really wrestle all the time?
It's been a
minute.
He was the first to 50 wins.
Yeah. And now he has 51 wins. He's wrestled once.
He's gonna do great.
Well, he's wrestled three matches since his 50th win.
I know we're gonna get to the next match, but I thought the Battle Royal with the tag teams again was really cool, just for the fact where Daly's place had that huge screen they showed the counter on, and it was kind of more of like, the intimate location. I really enjoyed that match.
But how many times? How many? AEW's got to stop with the whole skin the cat thing for battle royals. They do it way too much.
The ending was good for me. I was, because there were so many damn teams. I'm like, all right, well, wake me up when we get to the final couple months here. I was kind of taking in the
skin the cat.
Of Honor.
There were 4 skin the cats since Brian talked.
Yeah. Jay, Britt, Thunder Rosa. Could we get a new women's champ?
I think so. I think
so too.
However, with Thunder Rosa getting the pinfall on Dynamite, maybe Britt, nefarious means, or maybe they just shut it down for good and that's the end of the angle and they move on. Maybe a female debut. I don't know who's out there, but Nia Jax.
Oh, so we don't have time for her today. Yeah, how about Ember Moon, Athena? I don't know.
Whatever, that'd be good.
I can see that. I see that more likely than. Sure. I don't want to talk about
what's
that.
Her name?
We don't talk about Nia.
Oh yeah, I'm working on that video next week. All right, so then we got the championship. We got Hangman, Adam Page versus Adam Cole. The Adam Championship is on the line. I'm still, I think I said this a week or two ago, I'm still quite not feeling it. There's just something not there. And I think maybe it's just that I don't think Hangman is ready to lose the title, and I don't think Cole's ready to take the title. So I'm sticking with Hangman. I'm sure the match will be fine. No worries there. But will anybody feel differently?
I feel that I know this is like a stretch, and I'm about 52% sure that it's not going to happen.
There's a tendency for that to happen on the show.
I could see a no contest, no winner, because we get Kenny Omega back to cause interference for both of them, and he stands tall at the end. So that means, like speaking of earlier with Britt losing, Adam Cole doesn't get the championship, but the tag team belts goes in there. There's a little hostility with that one with the, the power couple.
Yeah.
Can I chime in on this?
Please do. Yeah. Page versus Cole.
So I like the idea of Kenny returning. However, I think it's Kenny returning to cause Adam Cole to lose. Hangman keeps the belt, and this sets up Kenny and the Bucks against Cole and Red Dragon era at the Blood and Guts match.
Can certainly see that happening. So last but not least, I mean, we talked about the lead up to it, but Punk versus MJF.
What about Kevin? What did you think about?
Oh, sorry, Kevin. I think he was agreeing with me. I thought, but
I think Hangman. I think Red Dragon are gonna do some crazy things against the Young Bucks in that tag three-way tag match, right? They're both going to get involved in the main event. I think the Bucks are going to go after Adam Cole specifically to get revenge against Red Dragon from earlier in the night. I just don't think it's going to be a clean match, so I'm going to agree basically with everyone. I hope it is. I hope it exceeds our expectations, to be honest, because I think it does have on paper to be a great match. I like both these guys. I think it's great. I think there's just several matches on the card that I think are going to be very, 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 very good, right? And for the main event should be like a layer over everything, and I just don't think it's there, right? But the next match we'll talk about, I think, has something to be really, really special for the event.
Yeah, Punk MJF dog collar match. This is the one I'm most excited for. I think the build's been fantastic. So we can go around the horn on this one for you to start, Jay.
I don't really know.
Yeah,
and I think that's the best type of booking when you don't know. It's not telegraphed who's going to win, who's going to lose. I mean, I don't think it hurts MJF if he loses. Well, actually, I do think it hurts MJF if he loses, because if this is the blow off to the feud and MJF's talking about the world title, I think MJF has to win. But this one is so wide open, it could go either way.
Agree. Go ahead, Jeff.
If MJF wins, the feud is over. If Punk wins, it must continue. So I'm kind of hoping for closure in this feud, not because of anything either one of us done that's made it not entertaining, but I think they can both move on. MJF wins.
I think Punk will win, and I'll say there's something we've kind of teased a little bit of interferences and wackiness, and so I'll say maybe there's something to the Wardlow thing that makes it happen, and so MJF can go, F you, I would have won if not for that bastard Wardlow who's fired and on the streets now. So that's where I'll go in that direction, kind of protects him, but Punk gets the victory. But yeah, don't know for sure. And you're right, Jay. It's the best part about it. So that's our Revolution.
I'm going to give my comment, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Yes.
MJF shirt gets to speak.
Yes. I think MJF will win. Okay. I think it's going to tease the Wardlow thing more and more. Jay mentioned blood and guts with those teams. We saw Sting, Darby, and Sammy come out to help Punk at the end. So it's going to be Team MJF with Pinnacle guys, right, against Team Punk in a match like that. And that's when Wardlow will turn on MJF. And then it's going to seal that one feud, and then it's going to open up that one.
Oh,
the directions are
but I agree with you. Whatever happens, I'm all up for it. Because we can predict a lot of stuff, aka Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
There's several matches on this card that could go either way, and that's what's exciting about it, especially this match.
On paper, this looks like a fantastic show. We will see if they deliver the goods they usually do this Sunday night for AEW Revolution.
Are you guys going to buy it?
I'm going to look into that movie theater.
Nice.
I've never done that. Well, no, that's not true. I have done that, but it's been years. It was Rock Cena Mania the first time.
Oh, wow.
That was how long ago.
Once in a lifetime.
So I'll look into it, and then we'll see. Effing Metallica just hurt my wallet pretty bad this week. How dare they? But yeah, so we're going to keep an eye on it.
Well, I'm going to be at the Nerd Bar in Vegas at the watch party. So if you're there, say hey. If not, I will come back with a report for next week about the event. Check our social media too at thatwrestlepod. I'll be in Vegas all weekend for UFC 272, but then it just kind of lucked out that the Revolution was the next day, and the Nerd Bar, which me and Kevin were at, and they had to hide the name Broken Skull IPA with Amish police force or whatever it was called. But yeah, so it'll be a good one. So hopefully you guys do the movie theater experience, because I'm curious to see what that's like, because I've never done that for wrestling.
Definitely. All right. Well, I think that'll wrap up for this week's show. I got to start pre-gaming for Tool. Oh, wait. One last thing. Our NXT review, Nikita Lyons did not wrestle. So we'll scratch that for this week. We'll get back to that one next time. But thank you guys for listening for the special early week episode. We should be back in our normal Friday morning time. If anything crazy wacky happens at the Vince Pat McAfee show, Jay and I talked about me doing a little video thoughts, so we'll keep an eye on that too, so keep on the lookout for that. Otherwise, check us out at thatwrestlepod, whatamaneuver.net for all your merch, and enjoy wrestling. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening. Follow That WrestlePod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
1, 2, 3, that's it.